Well, Star Wars fans, I am making a video about Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of Palpatine, because it's actually out on digital right now. You can actually buy it on Amazon if you have Amazon, probably some other streaming platforms as well. But I did not buy this movie. The movie, to me, was a disaster. Anyone that watches my YouTube videos regularly knows that I'm a big-time Star Wars fan. Always have been. I saw Return of the Jedi back in 1983 in the movie theater when I was a 6-year-old kid, and I fell in love with it. And ever since that day, I've been a huge Star Wars fan. And I've been very, very critical of Disney's handling of Star Wars since George Lucas sold it back in 2012 to Disney. And the sequel trilogy has been a dumpster fire. But this video really isn't about me. It's actually about my wife. My wife has finally saw Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of Palpatine. Now, my brother, he hadn't seen the movie. My brother actually purchased it on Amazon Prime yesterday. So we were able to see it. I didn't have to pay for it. And my wife actually got to see it today with me. Now, I only went to the movie theater one time to see it, and that was enough for me. That's probably just one time too many. But I wanted to know what she actually thought about this movie. Now, my wife, she didn't grow up a huge Star Wars fan. Actually, I don't think she saw a Star Wars movie until we got together. And that's been over 15 years ago. And that's when she actually saw her first Star Wars movies. And she's a casual fan, I would say. She knows that I'm a diehard Star Wars fan. And the sequel trilogy, she hates it. She's not a fan of the sequel trilogy at all. And my brother even said that The Rise of Palpatine was a joke. He thought it was a disaster as well as I did. Now, as far as my wife goes, we watched the movie. She thought it was horrible. I wasn't too surprised. Now, she's not big on going to movie theaters, so she usually just watches movies when they come out on streaming or digital. And she did the same thing with Terminator Dark Fate. I went to the movie theater and saw it myself so I can review it for the channel. And she finally saw it this year and she hated that movie too. All of this pandering to these fake woke people that Hollywood wants to pander to, they're doing the same thing with Star Wars. You know, they always say they want strong female characters, but guess what? My wife does not like Rey. Doesn't like Rey one bit. And watching this movie, she absolutely cannot stand Rey. She thought that Rey the character undermines and undercuts the Anakin arc. She even said herself that Anakin was supposed to be the chosen one, but this movie absolutely does not make Anakin the chosen one. It retcons all of the other George Lucas's movies. And I 100% agree with her on that. But Disney, you know, they want to do what they want to do. They wanted to retcon everything with George Lucas. And they also retcon their own movies too. Talking about The Force Awakens and The Trash Jedi. But anyway, that's a different story. So I digress. The only thing she really liked about this movie really was C-3PO. C-3PO, they finally gave him something to do. And that's pretty much all my wife liked about this movie. She didn't care about Ben Solo. She didn't care about none of the new characters. And she thought it was pretty stupid how Leia and Ben Solo died. Of course, you know, they have this whole new ODing on the Force thing. It didn't work for her. It didn't work for me either. Rey force healing that creature. I thought that was pretty stupid. She thought so as well. And I don't know if she actually said this is the worst Star Wars movie of all time, but I'm pretty sure she probably thinks it is with the other two movies in this garbage trilogy that Disney has given us. But you remember, Disney wants to pander to make Star Wars movies for women and underrepresented people. But my wife is a woman. She thinks your movies are trash. She really, really does. And I agree with her. They are trash. I'm a minority. And guess what? They're trash. I mean, Finn had so much potential, and yet they underutilized him, and they let Rian Johnson just completely destroy him. Imagine this. A stormtrooper who is force sensitive, and they don't tell you in the movie that he's force sensitive. You just kind of have to pick up on it. He walks away from the First Order, decides to join the resistance, the rebellion, and you do nothing with his arc in The Trash Jedi. And in this movie, he didn't really do much either. I don't know what J.J. Abrams, Kathleen Kennedy, Bob Iger, what were they thinking? I have no idea. But my wife is not a fan of your movies. She's not. She loves the George Lucas's movies. She loves his movies. She really enjoys the Clone Wars as well. She's a big Ahsoka fan. But Rey, Finn, Poe? No. None of these new characters in this movie, they were all forgettable. My wife thought they were forgettable. But this is the future. This is what Disney Star Wars is about. Destroying everything with George Lucas and building their new own brand now. That's why we're getting this garbage, The High Republic, which seems like it's going to be a dumpster fire when it comes out this fall. If it comes out this fall, because, you know, everything that's going on with the beer bug and everything now, many things could be delayed. But that's a female's perspective on Star Wars, The Rise of Palpatine. She wasn't a fan. And Disney Star Wars is dead to her. And that's a woman. This is coming from a woman. This isn't coming from a man. This is coming from a woman. She says you guys at Disney cannot create good, strong female characters because you have not. And out of the new Disney characters, pretty much the only one that I think is any good is Jyn Erso. That's it. But with this Rise of Palpatine thing, why did they even call it the Rise of Skywalker? I have no idea. It's the Rise of Palpatine because a Palpatine rises, the Skywalkers fall. They might as well just have called it the Fall of Skywalker because Disney has done a great job at killing all of the Skywalkers, and the main ones, Leia, Luke, and Ben Solo, in the dumbest way possible, ODing on the Force. This is the way of Disney. But that's just my thoughts on this, or I should say, that's just my wife's thoughts on this. What do you guys think of this? Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of Palpatine, a female's take. Let me know what you guys think about all this in the comments. If you're new here to the channel, please hit subscribe to catch future videos from me, and we will catch you on the next video. John Matrixx, out.